A third of teens say that they have been the victims of dating violence.
The alarming new statistic is the result of an online survey of more than 1,000 teenagers. Violence was defined as physical, sexual, or emotional, and almost 1 in 3 teens also acknowledge that they are the perpetrator in such acts.
Now, although girls were significantly more likely than boys to be a victim, girls were nearly as likely to say they'd committed dating violence. Rates were higher as teens got older and were largely the same across ethnicity and income levels.
Yeah, so what's a parent of a teen to do about these disturbing statistics?
So joining us now, we have Marty Calder and we also have Whitney Warr with Center Counseling. I want to thank you both for coming in today.
Right.
I find these numbers to be really high. Are we seeing that kind of level of dating violence here in our area, Whitney?
Well, I would say that those statistics are alarmingly high. But oftentimes it's not something as obvious as a black eye or bruises on someone's arm, those kinds of things. A lot of times it's more of emotional abuse, coercion, verbal abuse, those kinds of things, power and control in relationships.
Okay.
And so we're seeing this with men and women, or with boys and girls. Is it different, or is it the same? Is like one gender more susceptible to the violence part, one more susceptible to the emotional abuse, or is it just the same across the board for both?
I would say that it's probably the same. I think we traditionally think of it more as women being victims, but I'm surprised at times at how many men are also victims.
Mm-hmm. Is this something then that creates patterns that continue throughout their lives? I would think that this wouldn't be just kind of a one-time relationship thing.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that, that oftentimes, I think on both the abuser's end and the abusee's end, that oftentimes it's a product of low self-esteem, insecurity, those types of things. And so if they're not actively doing something to change that, it will carry on into other relationships later on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Marty, if you come across somebody who is being a victim of, be it the sexual, the physical, or the emotional abuse, how do you talk to them about getting out of the situation, and how does that go? How does one go about that?
So we'll kind of talk about the parents first, and we've talked about there's some warning signs, stuff you can look for, as Whitney had kind of mentioned, as far as coercion and things about texting and wanting to know where they're at and where they're going to be and who they're with and all that kind of stuff from a boyfriend, girlfriend, that kind of thing. And I think parents especially, is I said over and over every time I come on, is you've got to have those kind of relationships so that when there's a change, a significant change in your child's life, and then you can sort of pick up on that. If you don't, you don't have to be on every social media, but you have to be aware of them on Facebook or on things like Tumblr and those kind of things, mm-hmm. because that's where they're getting a lot of their information from. And so one is to not be afraid to seek out help, like to see Whitney. Mm-hmm. We have a wide range of counselors everywhere, our agency included, but of males and females, young and old, and to find somebody that your child can connect to. It's not a bad thing to say, I don't know what to do in this situation. This is over my head, and I need to get them help.
Okay, so if a parent knows that something is going on, obviously they need to talk to their child about it. Legally, are there things they can do? I guess it depends on the severity of this, and is it something where children should get any kind of counseling?
Don't you know that?
Definitely. I would say that it's always good to get counseling and get additional support that way. Legally, if there's some kind of physical abuse or sexual abuse, it's important to report that, mm-hmm. so that can go through the legal system. And then also, parents can always get a no contact order on an abuser to help keep their kids safe.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's important information for parents to be aware of.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, when we come back, we'll have your answers to our question of the day.